Now here's my waifu. Not Yang Li.
Oh, that's pretty hot ground.
Here she is. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of modaozushi. We come back as we normally do with notes, comments, and a board. So let's go ahead and start off with that board first thing, where the board comes to the board changelog, where I connected Lan Huan to Lan Corin with a blue line. He is their uncle, but I wonder if I should be reserving blue lines to direct family connections in this case. The fact that they are all of the same clan would imply that they are related and remove the need for the blue line via the clan border. In this case, I've continued with the blue line, but may need reconsideration in the future. And I also connected Zhang Sheng and Wei Ying to Lan Han with a green line.
Yeah, makes sense. I have notes about that, so I won't talk about that in the board because it's, why get ahead of myself. You disagree, but I'm still gonna talk about it. So, on to the notes. Episode 5, The Demonic Path. I see that wuxian follows the Cartman School of Morality. If it's only wrong if you get caught.
Sure.
It's more than that, but that's the opening of the episode. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong.
No, it is wrong. You still can do wrong if nobody can see you.
No, I mean, it's not wrong. I thought you were going to take it to mean that you're not wrong, which would have been fine. I would have been willing to move on with that if that was your interpretation, but apparently you took it as an argument. So, yeah, no, I'm thinking he thinks it's not wrong.
Oh, well, yeah.
If he doesn't consider it wrong, then it's not wrong.
Very strong. Well, he does have morality, strong sense of morality, but it's complicated.
Well, that's not the same thing. A set of rules, unless they're moral rules, in which these aren't specifically moral rules, they're just rules.
Yeah.
But very specifically, he's only following or breaking the morality of, do you follow the rules? Lan Zhan suggests that to remove the Aqua Demon, removing the water and everything below it, and exposing what remains to sunlight for 5 years would do the trick. But that would be beyond human ability? Well, certainly not. Humans have been draining lakes for thousands of years, especially in China. If Zhuan Zhang wanted it done, it could be done. I think really the answer falls into the lack of resolve of men. Equally interesting, though, is the conceit that sunlight over time resolves lingering resentment, according to this.
I think it's technological, but yeah, I suppose depending on what areas you're trying to drain out, you drain them. Could they have enough of? They have to create a dam to stop. Then you have to create another lake because they have to dam the river that empties into the lake, or divert it. So that's the thing. Then they would have to drain the lake, not with a bucket brigade, of course.
I very specifically did the lookup on this. Again, in the time period, the faux time period this is taking place in, China was draining lakes in real life. So I don't know offhand the very specifics of how it works, but they've done it, and we're doing it. So
yeah, I guess.
Because at the same time, you're like, well, they shouldn't be able to build pyramids. They don't have the technology for it. You're like, well, fuck it, they did it. Like, I mean,
no, they invented the technology, so yeah.
I'm just saying that if you're going to go through in your head reasons why they shouldn't be able to do it, I'm going to just point out that they were, and moving on from there.
Well, according to Lan they can, so how do I know?
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's saying they can't do a thing that human history says they can do, and then he flies on the back of a sword, which real human history says he can't do, then what the fuck? I don't know. We're in a weird position where they can't do mundane shit, but they can do supernatural shit.
My next point. Talk about Lan San. Lan San is nothing if not fair. Not only that he received 50 more hits than wuxian, Not only that, but he received 50 more hits than wuxian. And yes, they didn't flinch at showing the punishment for breaking the rules.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, I just don't have that many stuff to say about your thing, because it's like, yeah, that's what happened. Also, you're making like judgment calls about the characters that I just don't disagree with. So,
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean,
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Wuxian
You
told him, it's like,
typically, when we have a back and forth about the notes, they're like, I thought this thing about that thing, and then we have a back and forth where we both had different opinions. But you're just like saying what happened. It's like, yeah, that's what happened. I'm not going to say my notes are going to be any better than that. Just like I said before, Wei Ying points out that Lan Zhan, in the pursuit of holding the rules, breaks the rules to enforce them on Wei Ying. In this case, not just breaking curfew, as was mentioned, but fighting again. Despite that, I really enjoyed how the next scene showed Lan Zhan's incorruptible nature. I know we get shown Wei Ying pointing out the impartiality rule, but I think we all could see that Lan Zhan was going to do what he did from the start. He holds himself to a higher standard than Wei Ying, clearly, but it's not hard to see that he holds himself to a higher standard than everyone at Guso.
yeah, pretty much. He is the epitome of being a virtuous man. I think that's the whole thing about cultivation. Well, among other. Dissent against the Wen clan grows, but the Wen have greater numbers. Hence why people don't go after them on a clan-to-clan basis. They have more apprentices.
I don't remember that specifically being said.
That's a discussion between the uncle, Lan Shiren, Shiren, and Lan Huang, or Xishan, the first child.
All right. In the 2 times that I've seen that scene, I don't very specifically remember what they say to each other, so I can't commentate about that. Even though I think my next note's literally also about that thing. So we already saw the Wen clan herd the Aqua Demon out of their territory and into a neighboring clan's territory with what can only be considered complete disregard for the safety of everyone in that region. Now we are hearing from Lan Kurin that complaints about the Wen clan are mounting as they are telling lies and acting wildly. Unfortunately, Lan Huan notes the same thing the Wen clan said of themselves in that previous episode. They have many under them, and those that stood against them would just be made a part of those.
Subjugated or conquered. Talk about Shiren. Shiren? Yeah, Shiren. Hey, by the way, I brought some zombies so the kids can train with them. Uncle, this will not go wrong, said. And these are fast zombies to boot. I mean, they probably have their own Chinese designation in Chinese, but using the word zombie is just a shorthand for non-Chinese speakers.
Also, it's not the kids.
I know, it's just being facetious.
Yeah, it's young adults. You know, like when you bring your werewolf and vampire to play with.
Your
Apparently a dead
yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
I wonder what associate with their spirits means in regards to the zombies. Since they were brought back for training purposes, I would assume it would have nothing to do with nothing to do with assuaging their resentment, as I would think that would make them corpses and not zombies, having their resentment purged. So it must be some other ritual or the like that we haven't experienced yet. It sounds like it's just a means to commune with them in some way, meaning we can talk to the dead at some level, which really makes Wei Ying's ideas even less crazy in retrospect. I believe Lan Huan says something about associating with their spirits, the zombies, before he takes them somewhere. And that means he's not purging them because they would just become corpses, right? They wouldn't be zombies anymore. So clearly there's some other meaning to that statement.
I think it's a matter of engaging with them, and that seems to be a running theme that these undead are undead because they're breaking the order of things. They have too much resentment. They are too many negative emotions. So if you can solve that for them,
no, that's what I'm saying. That's like not what this is.
It's like
I'm very specifically saying that it's not assuaging the resentment, because that would make them into corpses instead of zombies, and he wants to use them as material for training. So associating with their spirits cannot mean assuaging the resentment. So, whatever he's going to do to those zombies is not that. He says he's going to do something with them, associating with their spirit. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what that means. Because context tell me that he's not going to purge them of the resentment. Otherwise, these would not be test materials. They'd just be corpses.
That was your statement. Okay. Right. That was your note. Okay. So my next note. That was totally a straight bath scene we got there. Yep. Two bros just taking a shower.
I mean, to be fair, it was a straight up bad scene.
I know, but
nothing happened.
No.
Well, if Lanzan and Wei Ying are going to become a couple, like I was suggesting before, then it seems like Lan Huan is on board with it to the point of encouraging his younger brother by putting him into this situation with Wei Ying at the pool. Sorry, I called it a pool, you called it a bath. Though, as I said, it really does make me think back to the context of the present of Wuxian inhabiting a younger man's body, while Wangji has just been aging for all this time. It's more than a bit awkward, even if there have been feelings that have been held on to all this time. You know, considering that we don't fully know what goes down yet, nearer to Wei Ying's death.
On to my next note. I didn't make a note of it last time, but wuxian is pretty strong. He overturned a boat with just
you did bring it up last time. Yeah, I think you did make a note of this. We talked about it last episode. Because you very specifically said he's very strong. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said he flipped a boat. Like, you've used this example before of him being strong. And I'm pretty sure you said it during your note section.
Kicking guys or zombies across the room, basically, or across, with just, throwing a stick. It was like, damn.
Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. You've said it like every episode now. Wuxian?
Division? Wuxian, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm more familiar with Miriam.
Wuxia. Wuxia is the style.
Sorry, like I said, I'm more familiar with Miriam, which is the Korean version of that.
I mean, Wuxia is a sort of theater and
I'm aware.
Stories there.
Miriam is the Korean version of that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, like donghua and manga and comics. Different names, basically the same thing. Well, people can argue that point, but I guess Lan Huan now has the nickname Ziwu. Just more stuff I just won't get.
I mentioned Wuxian morality earlier, but the fact that he would protect a rabbit like that shows that he cares about living things, especially the helpless ones.
I mean, to be fair, he also mentions going out and hunting these things.
Yeah, but I think he was just
before this episode.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is going to be only in context of something I said during the reaction, so very little thing here. I mentioned never having seen blushing earlobes before, neither in real life nor in other media. Well, looking it up, increased blood flow from strong emotion, which is, no shit. That's just what normal blushing is. Also unhelpful, the go-to examples I was given were embarrassment or anger, and both of those fit the scene. He could be embarrassed because of possible attraction, because of the smooth words Wei Ying is throwing at him, or he could just be angry because Wei Ying doesn't let up. Legit, everything just makes sense.
I mean, my ears have turned red. People have remarked like, "Oh, your ears kind of getting red because you're blushing or just embarrassed."
Legit, my ears have only gone red because of cold. So, also, my go-to when staring at somebody isn't their ears.
No, but people notice those things.
When someone asks me, "What's your favorite part of a woman?" There's a long list. Ears don't tend to go up there anywhere.
Everybody has their taste.
I love the taste of ears.
I guess. My next one. If I were to guess, the something's resentment either the aura resentment either attacked or connected with Wuxian Shi, and that is why he had such a reaction. And also why practicing the dark arts is prohibited. Like, it literally poison your soul.
Yeah, but I have no thoughts about that specifically because it hasn't been mentioned yet.
That's my take on it. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I have no thoughts about it. I have nothing to add to this thought. So Wei Ying says that he can't kill them all without his sword, which I find interesting. It doesn't imply that he couldn't kill any of them without it, just that he couldn't kill all of them, which I guess is either a self-measure of his skills, their numbers, or the strength of his somewhat magical abilities. Either way, it is a statement that exists to be built upon. Either way, I'm going to assume that whatever he does at the end of the fight was the aforementioned association I brought up before, as he seemed to be reading the zombie's resentment. Meaning, like previous episodes where he first brought up the idea of fighting resentment with resentment, it seems to imply using existing techniques in a way that the rest of the world would deem unconscionable. In this case, instead of exploring the knowledge of the zombie itself, exploring its resentment and how to make use of it. Of course, I could be completely wrong, as we have no explanation for the golden ball or why his veins start bulging out. In the reaction, I had originally attributed it to the scratch, like a zombie virus or something, but that clearly seems wrong as well. The only thing doing is hope that the show explains what's going on here in a later episode.
Yeah, that was my note, basically. And about his promise, my second to last note about his promise of not doing any dark arts. Yeah, we know that's a promise he won't keep.
Yeah, and how angry Jiang Shang seems about it. So I just realized I skipped a note, so let me go back up here. I don't know why you'd think you could do some cool parkour and jump on a roof to get away from someone that you know has a sword on them. A sword that you know that they can ride and fly through the air.
I think wuxian was just playing with him. He wasn't someone. I mean, he wanted to get away, but he wasn't very serious about it. Like, he's not very serious about anything he's doing right now. That's my take on it. And my last note. I'm wuxian about the rabbits. Oh, they're piling up. And Lanzan, filthy. Okay. He's like, oh, I did. That's not what I meant. That's the postscript to the episode.
No, I'm aware. Again, saw it twice. Just the element that, I also don't want to watch two rabbits fuck.
We don't get to show them two rabbits fucking, so yeah.
No, you get told about it, though.
Yeah.
Literally tell, don't show.
Yeah.
All right, well, my last note. Quite clearly, Lan Zan saw what was going on with Wei Ying's hand, even with Jian Sheng stepping in front of him, but still let it go enough that he walked away. Jian Chang, on the other hand, blows a gasket over the implications, calling it the dark arts, and that Wei Ying would be expelled by every clan. I mean, we know Jian Chang's attitude come the present, so clearly his feelings on the matter are strong enough to kill over, and won't be quelled by that death.
I mean, yes. But also, it's a matter, I think we describe him as being brothers. If he gets expelled from all the clans, he's losing a brother, basically, right? And he doesn't want that.
I don't think that applies to the same level. You're like, he'll lose a brother. You know what else will lose a brother? When his brother kills his brother. As we know that he does by the future.
Yeah.
So that element of a secret galaxy. In the future, as we are, we know that doesn't happen.
I was on with my notes.
All right, on to comments then. We had Sarah Linda from the Patreon from the episode Lesson Time. Sorry I'm late getting to these holidays, right? So I'll be brief. The term child refers to a youth of a noble birth or a young man in training to become a knight. Archaic English. If you listen, Wei Wuxian uses Lan Gongzi, which is something like young master Lan, or Lan Xiong, which is a respectful honorific for young men of a similar age/rank. If you think of the best cultivator clans/sects as nobles in this world. A clan's territory, Gusu, for example, is like a country with a large temple/castle/abbey headquarters, cloud recesses, where the cultivators live and train, supporting farms that pay rent for the land, maybe one large town and a few villages that'll pay tax to the clan/sect for protection, and probably help with trading goods with other clan/sects/rulers. The Wen clan seems to be expanding by consuming some of the smaller clans that were around it.
Explain some of the politics that I have been curious about, and the whole relationship between the Cloud Recesses and especially of Gozu and the neighboring village or town. So,
All right, next up, also Sarah Linda from the Patreon from the episode Water Ghost. I don't something get in my eye every time I go to read something. Tasting History is a great channel. I love watching his videos, even though I don't like cooking. I'm pretty sure all that hairy stuff is just water weeds / grasses being manipulated by the Aqua Demon. The wiki page calls it Waterborne Abyss, which is a much cooler name, in my opinion, and less direct, in that this is an amalgamation of many drowned people, water ghosts, creating a big enough amount of resentful energy for it to take on a life of its own. All 4 classes of evil things comes from resentful energy, whether it sparks a new thing to form from a still living creature / person, or doesn't appear until after the creature / person is dead, is often going to be hard to figure out until they've had a chance to analyze it. Then there are the normies who just label a thing with whatever term they feel like using. And if you mix in translation issues, Theta is just going to be frustrated, lol.
yeah, I noticed.
Well, yeah, because it's world building. You have to be consistent and like literally the same or the next episode that you're building the world with these terms. Otherwise, you're just telling me that they're meaningless. If you tell me in one episode that we have a power system here and the power system works this way, it can be countered this way, these are the nuances that make this unique and cooler than other power systems, and then the very next episode you just like disregard that completely, then I'm not going to be invested in it.
Okay, I agree. Yeah.
Well, you seem to have a way in there, so I figured if I said something,
No.
you'd have an additional way in.
No, I mean, you put more emphasis on something I don't put emphasis on. That doesn't mean that it's not important. It's just that we have different priorities. That's all.
Because it's a main thing.
Is that what thing?
One, sorry, I got distracted in my head for a second. Wei In is definitely going to be your Chinese name. But two, yeah, it's world building. It's fucking world building. What are you here for?
The story.
Yeah, that is part of the story. Knowing how the world works has to be part of the So if you can't, if you're not here for it,
not that I don't care about it, it's that I don't prioritize as much as you do.
Because it's important.
And that's why I say it's fine. And what's important to you, that's fine.
No, it is important. Literally, god damn, if this was like Naruto, right? And you found out somebody was using blood what do you call it? Bloodline traits. They have like a one-word thing for it. I can't remember. That would be very important to find out, and it would affect the entire arc of how you're going to go through and fight this person. Knowing the difference that this water thing is actually made of plant animals and whatnot. Not plant animals. Plants. Living plants or dead plants, you know? Or is it a live creature or is it a dead creature? It's like how you handle it. And it's like, that's very important to knowing what we're going to be doing next. We're not just going to be, I'm not like laissez-faire dancing through the episode. I'm trying to figure out what's coming next in anticipation of what I'm going to be watching. Because otherwise, there's no difference between encountering Lanzan in the pool or encountering Lanzan trying to sneak in alcohol. It's just scenes happening after scenes. Just want to figure out. It's like, oh, they're getting punished now. I realize why that's happening because of 250 fucking rules they etched into stone. Yeah, right. It's world building. I got to understand it to be able to enjoy and figure it out as it's going along.
Okay.
I watch too many reactors that just like don't figure anything out and just like, oh, that's weird. That's fucking happening.
I go into the setting, which is what lore is part of. It's a matter of if I would prioritize other things, this is not the highest priority, but it is for you.
Well, I don't think I'm prioritizing. Okay. Prioritizing would say that I'm doing it over something else. I feel like I'm just being loud about it because there's nothing else that's getting me this way.
Oh.
Right? I'm not like, I'm confused. I don't understand why the fuck they're doing this now. Like, why is he flirting with this guy? You know, I don't, there's nothing else in the show that's like upsetting me or anything. So the one thing that I don't understand and don't like why they're doing, that's the thing I'm loud about. That's the squeaky wheel in this whole organization.
Okay, cool.
And our last one, also from Sarah Linda from the Patreon, from Heretic Path. Cultivation is a lifestyle, I suppose is the best way to put it. It involves purifying the body and spirit through exercise, meditation, martial arts, and other arts, like music, poetry, calligraphy, and painting, and discipline, so that the body and spirit can attune with, hold, and control spiritual energy. Similar to becoming a samurai, I guess, if they used magic as well. Then they can use that energy and direct it into spells, for want of a better word, to fight evil or negativity in whatever form it takes. It all works together, so all these different things they do are part of cultivation. You cultivate yourself, and through yourself you can cultivate spiritual energy. Swords do not trap and hold a captured spirit. They develop a sense of personality or a very basic kind of awareness after having a lot of spiritual energy imbued/infused into them by their owners. They are charged with it during fighting or flying and so on. It's much like the idea of Yuta pouring some of Rika's curse energy into his katana during his training arc in the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. In this way, a sword's spirit is shaped by its master's personality and how he uses it. Giving your sword a name adds to this process of it being attached to you as more than just a useful tool. It becomes a part of you, a limb, a pet, or however you want to think of it. How much personality they have is going to differ from story to story.
So cultivation is a combination of Taoism and Confucianism. Confucianism follow rules, strictness, discipline. Taoism, the balance of nature and the energies within and without. So yeah. I'm more familiar with Taoism. Just familiar. I'm not an expert by any way, shape, or form because my mother practiced and still practices Tai Chi for a very long time, and that's a very Taoist discipline. But yeah, I will not claim to be an expert in any of these things, just for the record. So if you have more information, by all means, I welcome it.
I just thought it was funny that they threw in samurai as an example.
I mean, the discipline, lifestyle, the warriors, etc., and we
no. I mean
animes.
specifically because we're talking about a Chinese setting.
Yeah,
we watch so much Japanese stuff that sometimes it's hard not to make Japanese references.
Yeah.
And then I just wouldn't expect Sarah Linda to make that faux pas.
No. In this case, a faux pas per se.
I would believe there would have to
be
a Chinese
There's
example.
a history there, but yeah. Not strictly speaking a faux pas, although,
I'm calling it a faux pas only because I would believe that there would be a Chinese example to make.
True, but then we would have to have the understanding of the Chinese example to understand it, right? It's like if I would say, oh, this is like this, but I have no idea what either it is or this is, then like, oh, this is a kumquat and this is a apricot. I don't know what a kumquat is and I don't know what an apricot is. The comparison would be like, but you say, oh, this is more like an apple, then
I would believe that we would know.
We would know what.
That was the end of that thought. I don't think you're gesturing. No, right. I'm saying I believe that we would know. Like I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I believe that if you told us the name of like a Chinese warrior society, that we would know it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you get into like real esoteric shit that we've never heard of.
Yellow turbans, the boxers, the so-called boxers and boxer rebellion. I mean, there's a lot of examples. I mean, just Imperial China alone has over 2,200 years of history. So, yeah, there's a lot of examples.
Non-continuous.
I mean, they're different dynasties.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Non-continuous.
Yeah, but since the first emperor, it's about 2,200 years ago. So, yes, what we might call Imperial China was 200 years before Christ, all the way to to the 20th century.
Anyway, I'm sure the Jujutsu Kaisen thing fell on deaf ears for you.
I mean, the embodiment of the sword, yeah.
Well, I mean, the
Again,
example.
I know of Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't watched it, but I know of it.
I specifically have reacted to it on the channel. Literally, I just had the artist remaking my overlay for Jujutsu Kaisen to be a solo overlay, because that's coming out next month, and
Cool.
I'm going to continue along with Fearin and the new Fate thing that won the poll.
Yep. I finally got an example of my new YouTube friendlier overlay, so I should be restarting that soon enough. Once I re-record 4 episodes of stuff.
All right. Well, I believe that is everything, so nothing left to do but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
As always, 2.5 minutes
talk
opening.
Over the intro. I know. The very long intro.
That's funny. Because I'm thinking how long this intro is, and I was trying to take notes about Space Battleship Yamato Season 2, Episode 3 last night before I decided I was getting nothing done last night. Episode 3 of that show started with a 3-minute recap of what we've been through already. In the third episode, it's like, if this keeps up, by the end, it's at 25 episodes in the season. That is, 1 minute per recap per episode number. 1 minute longer or actually 2 minutes longer than the show.
Yeah.
By episode 23, we're going to have any time left for the show.
Yeah. Also, I noticed that in the beginning, the translation of the title says "The Past," which is not the name of the title of the episode, I think. Which means, does this mean that the entire season is The Past?
Well, this is my regret about you having access to reading the comments before we get to the episode, because people just spoil that shit. And those comments I don't read.
In Spanish, there was a spoiler in Spanish
No, just spoilers all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Technically, this opening is full of spoilers.
Returned. We are catching up to where you left it off by 3 episodes.
Yes, that's how math works.
We are now introduced to Buddhism as part of this world, which makes sense.
The One.
同进共退，奠定来世基业。仙侣深云，复归寺中，了结此身。此四幅便是姑苏兰氏先祖兰安的生平四景。茄兰，
哦，原来兰家的先祖是和尚。
To be fair, I've had that kind of goatee. I'd be doing that all the time too. I used to when I had a goatee.
不知他的天定之人是何等超凡脱俗的仙子啊！如今的仙门百家也不乏清理。
This asshole.
子轩兄，你看哪位仙子最优啊？这个你就别问子轩兄了，他也有未婚妻，肯定答是未婚妻了。果真？那是哪家的仙子啊？必然是精彩绝艳的吧？
I mean, we already know.
不必再提。什么叫不必再提？不知金兄对我师姐究竟有何不满？啊？ 是那个平淡无奇的江燕梅呀，怪不得子轩兄。
Hear you, asshole.
你不如去问他有何处让我满意。
Ooh.
Needs a kick
Yeah,
in.
that's an insult. Yeah.
怎么，我说错了？你那么稀罕你的好师姐，便找她父亲要去。哼，反正他不是待你比亲儿子还亲。
No fighting Jutsu.
Ooh.
放肆！
Yeah.
云深不知处，岂容尔等打架滋事？
I think I should call it the cloud recesses. Jutsu and cloud recesses are not interchangeable statements.
No. This is Cloud Recess of Goose. And he's getting punished again.
Just a fucking child.
王金兄，好久不见，我还以为你生我气了呢。
You thought right.
嘿嘿。
Well, a time with no TV, he has to entertain himself somehow.
除了你还能有谁？我看他
Yeah,
It's
but I
also
probably
very
imagined
dirty.
something about all life being sacred or something.
Yeah, that's true.
So don't fuck with the
子
ants.
轩那傻球呢？
Yeah, but if they have a Buddhist tradition, then yeah, that's technically true.
不知道看了镜子后有何
Well,
感想？
one of multiple Buddhist traditions.
犬子便承蒙先生指导。
哎，江叔叔来了，师姐不会也来了吧？
Also being playing the dirt and being dirty is not proper for him.
不过下次你可别再这么莽撞。
阿谢，起来吧，回家了。
Oh, he got expelled. Oops.
Young man. Remember, I listed the name of the clan's homes on the board.
Gosu Lotus Clan. Oh, that's his sister.
That's a fisherman.
要不要啥子今天刚摘的瓜？
谢谢老伯的心意了。
师姐，
Remember, she dies.
阿谢，
Yeah.
Throwing that out there as a sad reminder.
师姐，
No matter what you see, she'll die. And have that asshole's kid.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean, that's still room for subversion there.
慢点儿，别摔
Could be
了。
anyone's kid.
Uh-huh.
师姐，我可想死你了。
哎，不是停学1年吗？怎么这么快就回来了？
当然是因为我太想师姐了。
Yeah, you're a liar.
就你嘴甜。
哦，对了，
嗯，
礼物。
给我的。
Not cakes, are actually gold bars, right?
喜欢就好。师姐，我想喝莲藕排骨汤。
Or some pork ribs.
还有酸辣藕带。
备好了。
宗主。要很辣。
He looks pretty young for a clan leader. I guess because he doesn't have the beer.
Again, already noted that on the board.
Yeah.
You really gotta pay attention to the board lessons.
你娘呢？
在教场。
Now here's my waifu. Not Yang Li.
Oh, that's pretty hot.
稳
Ground.
住了。
Here she is.
Calisthenics.
We call it
That explains
training
why
ground, but I
wuxian-
think it's also supposed to be a discipline area.
Yeah.
这么简单的铁环阵都破不了，以后遇到凶灵你们怎么办？送死吗？给我多练1个时辰。1个2个成日里不思修炼，天天想着
Hello,
玩，
nurse.
跟着你们那大师兄有样学样。
Who also hates my character, but never mind.
惹是生非没个消停。你们是不是也要一起呀？
阿娘，
啊，是阿离呀。
Uh-oh. Yeah. She's not alone. Oh, that was very exaggerated.
I mean, she was just using him as a bad example. So
Yeah.
这些孩子能修炼到什么程度，自有他们的仙缘。这样迫着他们，恐适得其反。
就是因为你老护着惯着我，这帮子弟才总是不成器。尤其是这大弟子，打架闹事，还要请宗主出马解决。这种事，我还是第1次见。
三娘，
怎么，我说错了吗？他之前在莲花坞里胡闹也就罢了，眼下却丢脸丢到姑苏去了。明知道兰陵金氏和云梦江氏以后是姻亲，他还去和紫萱打架。
some people you gotta fight.
阿娘，别生气。听说阿成在云深表现很好，蓝先生都赞他呢。
My thing is I think Feng Miang is a bad clan leader, but a good dad. I think she's a bad mom, but she's a good clan leader.
Clan leader.
争气离婚。金珠银珠，我们走。
阿娘慢走。
He's a good matriarch, whatever.
你们师兄弟好久没见了，去跟他们打个招呼吧。
To the best of my knowledge, unnamed and uncredited. So I have no idea who those people are. As per your, his strength thing, 2 broken necks.
你在云雾之处也这么被罚吗？
切，那边更多的是罚抄书，不如莲花坞罚跪罚扎马步来的痛快。
哎，那你接着来忘机了吗？他修为怎么样？
挺强的，和我差不多。
Hey, they don't believe it. Yeah.
3步以内就得冻死，是真的吗？
Yes, because he did it.
哪方妖怪吧？
那姑苏蓝氏的3000家规呢？
嚯，这个倒是真的，刻了整整一座山呢。
I guess he's saying he can't do it, even though he literally did. His little electricity thing.
Yeah. So I don't want to make these elemental as well, right? The cloud recesses the air, but we also have wood and iron.
It's a hidden ninja clan.
No, because they might be
Naruto. I'm
associating
assuming a
each
Naruto
clan,
joke. That's all. Don't take it seriously.
associating each clan with one of the Chinese elements, which is not the same thing as Western style elements on the Platonic ideal.
三娘，
这么晚了，你来干什么？
我去你房里找你，金珠说你在这边。
有什么事吗？
Gift or a message?
Hairpin.
买这些无用
Gift.
东西做甚？
这簪子轻盈润泽，我瞧着好看，便买了来。
So how many hairpins there were in Apothecary Diaries, which is also set in China. And now that show's off the air for a while.
这次我去姑苏，
Plus I'm getting get hairpins anymore.
说到了阿离的婚事。
阿离的婚事是我与子轩母亲在他们小的时候就定下的，有什么问题吗？
我同金宗主已决定解除两家联姻。
好好的，为什么要解除？
Again, coming from the future,
阿离和金家公
I don't think
Yeah.
that's gonna happen.
如今看来，并非如此。咱们又何必勉强？
阿离见过子轩几面，明显是喜欢他的。是子轩那小子说了什么吗？他们小孩子家能懂什么？阿离那么好，子轩以后铁定喜欢都来不及。再说了，我与子轩母亲打小交好，梅山于氏和子轩母亲的家族又是有族。
See what I'm saying?
现在云梦
She puts the clan stuff first.
有什么不好？
He's putting his daughter's wishes first.
要共度一生的是他们自己。若他们心意不通，却因为大人们的意愿，被强行绑在一起，
像我们这样是吗？
Meaning he's trying to do the minimum amount of work by getting her a hairpin.
Or
Say it's the minimum amount of work because he's obviously not talking this through.
被鹰这死小子，走到哪儿都是祸害。
你又来了，这有关阿宪什么事？
不关他的事，他不闹这一出，这桩婚事会散。哼，自从那小子被你捡回莲花坞，你这颗心从来就没有摆正过。如果这次闹事的是江城，你会这么快赶去姑苏吗？你不会。
三娘，
他这次打掉了阿离的婚事，下次还不知道闹出什么事来。哼，不过也没什么，反正万事都有你这个宗主替他摆平了。
Remember back before they left the school, Jian Cheng is sitting in the back as his father walks up to Wei Ying instead of him, and there's a look on his face. There's clearly a lot going on between Jian Cheng and Wei Ying that's just not being vocalized. You have to be watching their faces to figure out that something is happening in their heads. Or one of their heads, anyway. I think probably next episode I have a whole note about that, but I'm bringing it up now because we're in the episode.
I mean, he's not an orphan, is he? Though Wuxian is not an orphan. Wuxian is not an orphan, is he?
Wei Ying?
No, Wuxian.
Well, I just said Wei Ying, and you said no, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Wei Ying. Yeah, Wei Ying. Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're going to argue with me about names, and you can't. I said they're adopted brothers, and you said no, they don't have the same sister. And I just got done editing that video, by the way. You went through a whole argument with me about Yang Li not being his sister, so he couldn't be Jian Cheng's adopted brother. Which, you know, I would hope you would realize at this point of the episode that you're wrong.
对不起，师姐，我
Also, I don't know the specifics of if you get adopted, are you still an orphan?
又不是你的错。
可师姐伤心了。
阿谢，坐下说。
I don't know if I said this before in the first time I watched it. I get a real Final Fantasy VII feel from this.
自小阿娘
Tifa and
兰陵
Cloud.
公子是我未来的夫婿，
This could be them sitting on the
虽只见过几面，
Water tower.
但
yeah.
金公子那
I
般
keep on saying watchtower in my head.
极少会有人不动心吧。可是细想起来，我其实并没有那么喜欢金公子的。我也期望同金公子白首偕老，但若我二人并非两情相悦，
师姐，
你呀， 定是姬家公子说了什么，你才出手打架的吧？
哪有？
See, I can see a world
我只是
where that kid
看得不顺眼。
that we saw in the future is
Yeah.
actually Wei Ying's kid.
你个小滑头，你是我从小看着长大的，我还能不了解你？你哪里是看人不顺眼便随意出手的脾气啊？
And I realize you're going to use their courtesy name. I'm not arguing about
而
that.
且
We just have to agree that
在你的
when I say Wei Ying and you say no, that I think you're talking about somebody
yeah,
else.
Yeah, no, that's right.
能与我心心相印之人，互倾心，共白头。
Well, too bad you're in a political marriage situation. That's not going to happen.
其实金子轩的孔雀不好的，又娇气又自大。世界这么好，值得更好的人。
Oh, we're now in the
Anime tropes, yeah.
yeah.
Either someone standing on my grave or talking about me.
Well, standing in your grave gives you a chill. Talking about you gets you to sneeze.
Yeah, but when you chill, you also sneeze sometimes.
Oh.
Also, as a turn of phrase, it doesn't really work.
Autumn.
Winter, you mean?
It's a winter, yeah.
Or perhaps even, do you mean
Yeah.
spring?
Pleasant.
Now it's matching up with another show I'm watching, Yatagarasu. Literally last episode, did another year thing too. Remember he claimed he hunts these birds all the time.
看你往哪儿跑！
And no one at the Cloud Recess has mentioned anything about, you mean you hunt birds.
Perfectly still foreground characters.
Not as egregious as some shows.
公子，我们倒了。
The old dead man's float.
停一下，
Son of a bitch.
哇，你终于舍得回来了！我还以为你瞧上了人家姑苏的姑娘，都不想回来了呢。我又不是你。
I mean, there was that one girl that
Yeah.
selling the food.
都在教场练剑呢。过段时间不又是青坛盛会吗？首日就有射箭比赛。哦，
Time for an archery competition.
Yeah.
在不夜天城。
Oh, that's not ominous.
I
Never
don't know,
night.
man. It's
Well,
the best looking play.
Actually, it's the
the
opposite.
It's the best
opposite.
looking
Never
one, I
night
thought.
is- yeah, it's not ominous at all.
Oh, it is ominous to look at.
Yeah. Shisha.
Well, it's literally always dark, but they
Mhm.
always have fires going. So it's like, it's never night, because it's always night.
It'll be never day though.
No. Look, I'm not arguing for it making a lot of sense. I'm just saying, you
Oh.
said, oh, that's not ominous. And then you're like, oh, actually, it's not that ominous looking at it. When I'm looking at it, you were going by the name alone. Nevernight is actually pretty not ominous. I think it's the coolest looking of the places, but then again, I don't know that I've seen them all either. In my ranking of places right now, I would probably go with Nevernight. I can't remember the name of the Jiang one, the one we just saw. I like it because it's pretty normal, and not for nothing, we have these little outposts of like, I'm going to call them gazebos because I don't know what else to call them, of just sitting out there in the lily pads by themselves, which is very nice to look at. And then put Cloud Recesses at the bottom.
Night.
Sorry, you might not realize this, but you are competing with a song audio for volume.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But yeah, of the three, That's the order I put them in.
Yeah. Lotus, not Lotus Clan, Lotus something else.
Literally on the board
yeah.
lessons.
Yeah.
It's right in the chat. You can click on anytime you want, and the names are right there.
Yeah, I know about the place itself.
That's literally on there. I'm saying it says Jian Clan of Pum Pum Pum. I have it on the board.
So this episode, interesting. Seeing the family dynamic, especially of the other clans, right? What happens with an arranged marriage and all that.
You say other clans as though our main character wasn't this clan.
No, but we have been watching the Land Clan up to this point because we've been in the Cloud Reases. But now that we followed him back home, then yeah.
Man, I would argue not really. We've been with the Jiangs this whole time because our focus has been Wei Ying and Jian Chang. We've had one. That's like 1/3 of our main cast has been Lan Clan.
Yeah, but the fact that
I don't think it matters where you're at. It matters more the characters you're following.
It's important because where they're at represents what we're seeing. They are point of view characters, but we haven't seen the politics of his clan internally, except for the mention of the sister. That's it. Everything has been the discipline, the what's happening in the lake, etc., with the Land Clan, the politics of the Land Clan with other things. Now that he's returned and he's a point of view character, we get to see, who the matriarch of the clan is, how they do things, to a degree, and those interactions we didn't see before, meaning that I think is very important.
Now, it's not that I'm saying your point is invalid. I'm saying I disagree with it. This is an element of our main characters are Jiangs, so we're always following the Jian clan. What we're seeing is how do they act in a Lan environment. So we are always following them. Now you're back and seeing what the Jian clan home environment is like. We're still following the Jian clan, just in their home environment now.
Yeah, but we didn't get to see the home environment. Therefore, the
yeah. But I'm saying that we are seeing what the Jian clan is like at the Lan clan's place. So we're still seeing what the Jian clan is like. This is weirdly the same argument we had at the beginning of the episode, where you said you don't care as much about the world building specifics, and now you're arguing that we got to see very specific parts of the world building, which is to say the Jian clan home territory. Which is what I'm saying is that we're still with the Jian clan. We're always, well, I can't say always. Most of the time, it seems like we're always going to be with the Jian clan. 90% of the time, it works 100% of the time. What's I'm saying? Yeah. It seems like we're always going to be with the Jian clan because our main character is Wei Ying. So, unless we go off and follow somebody else for a bit, in which case we'll be following whatever clan they are. But I assume our secondary main character will be Jian Chang, your character. So, we'll still be following the Jian clan. I'm saying it doesn't matter where we're at. In the same aspect of, if you're, say, watching Jack Reacher, he's always Jack Reacher. It's just Jack Reacher in a different place. We're always with Jian Chang and Wei Ying. It's going to be the Jian clan, just in a different place. What does a Jian clan member do in Lan territory? What does a Jian member do in Wen territory, right? It's always going to be, this is the perception we're going to get. Like, I told you a long time ago that I didn't really read Marvel comics. I read Deadpool comics, and from Deadpool's perspective, that's how I experienced the Marvel universe. So, somebody who read the very specific episodes that then Deadpool had episodes, put himself into it, they know what the story's actually like. I know what a fucking loudmouth Deadpool in that situation is like. That's the perception. If you read those other comics, you got everyone's backstory, everyone's perspective, whatnot. All I have is Deadpool's. Same thing. If you're like looking at Guso or the Cloud Recess specifically, and you're like paying more attention to Lanzan, then you've got Lanzan's perspective about what the fuck Wei Ying is like. But our main character that we're following is Wei Ying, so we've got his perspective on what everybody else is like. He is the Deadpool of the show.
I still believe that we were spending more time with the Land Clan, and therefore we were seeing how the Land Clan. The POV might be different, but we're still focusing on them until we move somewhere else.
Well, the POV isn't different. Again, POV is always
The POV
always
may be different.
90% of the time, 100% of the time, it's always going to be Wei Ying.
Yeah, no, it's his story ultimately, but
yeah, I'm saying we're not doing this like Durara. We're not ensembling it. We don't spend some time with Wei Ying, some time with Lan Zhan, some time with Ni Husang. I sometimes forget his name, and sometime with Jian Cheng, where we get multiple different perspectives from multiple different clans about what being in different places of like what they think about their own things. Like, we don't spend enough time with Lan Zhan, for example, to see what he actually thinks about the rules of Cloud Recesses. We know from Wei Ying's perspective that he is incorruptible and whatnot, but we don't spend any time in his own head or getting thoughts from that perspective or from any other Lan member, for example. I think we actually know what Zixuan knows or thinks about things more than we know what Lan Zhan thinks about things. And you know why? Because Zixuan interacts verbally with Wei Ying more than Lan Zhan does. And since Wei Ying is our perspective character...
Yeah, but we're still... What he's watching is the Land Clan, so we spend quite a bit of time with the Land Clan, learn about that through his eyes, and then we go to Wei Ying's clan and look about that.
I'm just thinking you can't take the tint out of it.
No, it's part of the process, but it doesn't mean that we're seeing more of one clan than another when we spend literally more time with one clan with another, right?
We do, though.
Literally
we do spend more time with one than the other because we're there. Just because you go to vacation to the Bahamas doesn't mean you're getting more of the Bahama culture than you are the vacationer you're following.
Okay, if I spend 5 years in one place and 1 minute in another, I'm spending 5 years in one place whether I come from another place or not.
Yeah, but now, you know what? You're spending 5 years and 1 minute with you. So we're spending more time knowing you than we are those places.
Yeah, but I'm not the totality of, say, Puerto Rico.
You are, though. I mean, you're the totality of you, is what I'm... Sorry, you went and added Puerto Rico. It is the same thing.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
I'm getting your
because
perspective.
You're making the totality of wuxian as being the totality of the clan, and not the totality
I would also argue that the totality of the clan is the totality of the location.
No, it's more than it's
nature versus nurture at this point. That's what we're arguing. That any clan member, by God, I hate saying that out loud. By the way, but can't help it with this show. They're all part of a clan, right? But anyway, any clan member is raised as a member of that clan. So, your argument, you're not the totality of Puerto Rico. No, but as a Puerto Rican abroad, you are the totality of the representation of Puerto Rico in any position where you're the only Puerto Rican. The point being is that also Puerto Rico is a place, but you're saying as a culture, then no, I disagree with you with the same perspective I was just saying about the Jiang clan, is that any Jiang clan member observing stuff about the Lan clan is the Jiang perspective, especially in cases where there are no other Jiang clan members. That was 3 words mixed in one word. And especially in any case where there's no other Jiang clan members for us to have a perspective on. If Wei Ying was the only one there and Jian Cheng was not there, his perspective would then have to inform us what the Jiang perspective would be. And since we spent all of our time with him, his perspective would then influence us to expect what any other Jiang clan member would say in this situation. And I would say that we spend more of our time not in the classroom, not in the library, writing down books and dealing with Lan Zhan. More of it spent with him hanging out with Jian Cheng or Ni Husang or anything else of him just fucking around. Meaning most of our perspective is about the Jiang clan.
But we don't get any real insight on the Jiang clan until we go back there, so...
Yeah, well, in this place, then it's a character study into one member of the Jiang clan.
Well, and again, if I'm talking about the clan, I'm talking about the insight that we get on the clan, not on the individual.
Again, if you spend all of your time, say you were in Cloud Recesses, right? But you spend all your time observing a Jiang clan member at Cloud Recesses, then you're still spending all of your time observing a Jiang clan member. It doesn't matter where they're at. You're still observing a clan member of a specific clan, and it's not the Lan clan.
We have, through his, we see everyone else, which is what the kind of the point.
Yeah, but you're still seeing his perspective on other clans. So it's still a Jiang clan member's perspective on other clans, which is, I would say, if you are reading a rules book for like a tabletop game, this would be the vampire thing where you get which vampire clans think about other vampire clans. You'd be reading the Deva clan and thinking, oh, what do they think about the Tremere? That's not information about the Tremere. That's information about what the Deva think about the Tremere.
I think it's both.
No, because the information you would want then would be what the Tremere section says about one themselves, and then what the Tremere think about the Deva. It's not a back and forth. It's your Deva's misconception about what the Tremere are like, or, not misconception, but I don't know what the word is.
How you're perceived by others is part of who you are, whether you like it or not.
Right, but this is perception outwards. This isn't incoming perception. This isn't somebody telling them what they think of you. This is all outgoing. This is the mentality of the person being observed, not the mentality of people observing the observer.
I still think my original statement is correct.
Yeah, because I think you're entering this in an argumentative state.
No, I mean, I'm talking literally. We spend
I'm saying that I said your point. I said that your point wasn't invalid. I'm not arguing that your point isn't true in its own. I'm just saying that my perspective is this. And your argument is like not, oh, I see what you're saying. Your argument is, I think I'm right. So I'm saying you are entering this into an argumentative state where it's a sum-zero game. That either you're right or I'm right. Neither of us can both be right. And I said, oh, I see your point. Here's my point.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think, again, I said this before, I do that constantly, and you don't give me any leeway at all. This isn't debate club lessons. This is just observations.
Yeah. So
now I'm going to start the next episode heavily debating you and saying you're wrong.
Now that we're here, I like the different perspective. I think that aesthetically, I like Gozu more, But
you mean the Cloud Recesses?
They both have Cloud Recesses and Gozu.
Well, yeah, it's in Gozu, but I think we spend our time aesthetically in the Cloud Recesses more than we do say that whatever that town was called. It got named. I don't remember.
Even the town, I think, looks. I don't know. It looks better to me. It's more attractive to me. My take on something that I consider to be. But then again, I think it's the way it's supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be the Land Clan is supposed to be elevated and distant and disciplined, while the other clans have their own takes on this, more grounded, although they're in a lake, I guess. So yeah, center in the middle of a lake or a swamp. I'm not really sure.
Definitely not a swamp.
No, but it is a watery area, more large lake.
It's right there in my head.
Not a pond,
not a marshland either. What are the Everglades?
They're swamps. Everglades are swamps.
I don't think they're all swamps.
Yeah, it's one giant swamp. Yeah.
Wetlands.
Yeah, well.
Famous for its unique river of grass.
Within a wetland, yeah. And possibly the association with elements, but I'm going to hold on to that idea until I see other examples, because I don't want to cram this into the Platonic idea, Western idea of elemental anything, right? So yeah, there are differences, I know.
Well, I mean, I already gave you my ranking during the ending credits.
We're not going to do the Avatar thing here, either movies or television, animated television show. So yeah, like the episode, it was pretty chill. We'll see what
it wasn't chill at all. I know you were watching. You thought this was chill.
No, there was certainly tension, of course.
I mean, one
couple.
Wayne gets ejected. I don't know what the hell's going on with the brain. Evicted? Nope, still wrong.
Got kicked out.
Yeah, it's an E word. My brain's not getting there.
Ejected, evicted, all those.
That's not the same. Yeah. When you get kicked out of a school, you get
kicked out of the school. Yeah.
Okay. Clearly, you can't think of the word either. You said it already, by the way, in the episode, like right at the beginning when you realized it was happening, and now you just can't think of the word.
Yeah, he got evicted. Well, evicted from a home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an E word, though. Expelled. That's the word.
Expelled. Yeah,
I know it was an E word. You weren't helping. Anyway, then we deal with oh god, what's her name? Zion, the mother figure, and how and how unchill she is, And then Feng Mian and his relationship to her and how unchill that is. And then them both discussing the political and personal ramifications of Yang Li's relationship with Zixuan, how unchill that is. The whole fucking episode was unchill. It wasn't a combat episode, but it was still...
It gets pronounced as not pronounced. It gets spelled as Yang Li, but they pronounce it differently. I have to cement that pronunciation because it was very particular. Yeah, they don't say Yang Li.
At this point, because I don't care. As I've indicated, the same thing with courtesy names. I have said it for technically only 9 episodes, but also technically at the same time 15 episodes. So I'm not changing.
Like to get it right.
Do you know who the person who's least going to be offended by me mispronouncing their names are?
Yeah, characters.
Yeah, I was going to say the characters, but also probably myself. But the characters are never going to have a way in. They're not going to be upset by the way I pronounce their names.
No. But I like to get it right for my own edification, if nothing else.
That's what I'm saying.
My
the
own
problem
cultivation, if it were.
The problem is I'm too deep now.
I just picked up on the fact that clearly they were not. Even though that is probably an accurate translation of the word into English, romanization. Yeah, the pronunciation did not match, like at all. But, also because probably the conversational way of the Chinese that they're using might as well. One reason why it doesn't fit as well. But that's just not even a pet peeve of mine. Something I noticed.
All right, an original comment from my solo reaction run from Sarah Linda from the Patreon from the episode Water Ghost. I'm just skipping ahead here. For a nickname, which they usually only use for little kids or in the heart of a family, parent to child, they abbreviate the first name with A-XX. So Wei Wuxian is called A Xian by Yang Li, and he calls her Shiji, which means older girl who is being taught by the same teacher, not Jiji, which would be for a true sister, blood or adopted. Wei Wuxian is spoiler. Sorry, me and Sarah and Linda have a real back and forth about what's spoiler and what's not a spoiler. As they've already indicated to me, there's elements of this story that's not, as I've told you before, not going to be told to us because you're expected to know certain elements of Chinese culture. So yeah, if you heard Shiji, that has a specific meaning. It's not technically her name.
Yeah, but they used her name in the subtitle, so it's like,
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know
clearly
about that. I'm just indicating to you, you were talking about it, and I recognized. Wait a second. If Sarah Linda, if you're out there, and you think he's not paying any attention to my fucking comments, I remembered that you said this, went back into your old comments, and found it for Lessons benefit. So yes, I do remember the comments.
Shiji. But I have to be careful not to confuse it with the other.
No, Lessons, not Gigi.
Shiji.
Shiji, yes. Specifically not Gigi, because that would be true blood relation.
That's what I'm saying. I shouldn't confuse the two of them.
I'm never going to hear either of them. But I remember the thing in the comment.
Oh, well. That was his episode so far. I liked it.
Well, no.
It's good.
Lessons, this is this episode in totality.
Yeah.
There's no additional this episode.
Well, there's additional this show, so...
No, I'm saying you said this is the episode so far. If there was more episode, then I don't know what we're doing.
Well, we will go back to this episode and write notes, so there will be more to say about it, or repeat what we just said, so there's that too. Either way.
Well, one would hope that we would have the presence of mind not to just repeat ourselves.
We do.
Have the presence of mind not to do that, correct?
Do not, in fact.
Alright, well, if that is everything, then once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?